and pursued by online trolls.
Yeah, because the most important thing there is online trolls.
Also, there was internet back in the 70s.
In the 70s. Now, I do have to say, because this is one part, the fact that these actors look good in 70s clothes, and the other part, because he looks good in 70s clothes. Imagine if y'all niggas had actually taken this advantage step with the outfits. Imagine if you had actually used this shit.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been great. Man, wonderful. Yes, the shitty half screen. So, I'm going to start off with what I already knew from when I saw this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a really great satire. Too bad you saved it for the finale. Because I can already hear, I've seen, because people wouldn't shut the fuck up about it, but I've already seen the arguments. This show wasn't made for you, incels. This wasn't... Listen to me, okay? You wasted time writing 8.5 episodes to then make this satire at the end. Your argument was this was supposed to be a comedy. Then it's supposed to be a legal drama. And now we're defaulting to, we're taking the piss out of the toxic troll man babies. We're making a satire. You have to pick one, okay? You can't be all three at the same time, because Lord knows you don't know how to write any of those things well. It can't be a legal drama, because y'all niggas don't understand how to run a procedural. And it cannot be a comedy, because I'm not laughing out of humor. I'm laughing because this is embarrassing. And every single one of you should have been fired, but unfortunately, we're going to get there.
Yeah.
Save your enthusiasm, ladies and gentlemen. You're about to see some bullshit like you've never seen before. Also, I don't know you didn't notice it, but I did. That tag on the front of the chest there, that little plastic symbol, that is a QR code. See?
Oh my god. Really?
Yes, bitch, really. What, are we gonna stop?
But it's so blatant this time. I mean, it's actually, it's always been blatant, but like it's even worse this way.
The worst problem is that because of the shading and coloring, I have difficulty to believe that they could actually scan that on the screen. I'm not even going to attempt. Some fucking Redditor has already done the work for me. I don't understand why you're doing this at this point.
But you might as well just say our actors are products. You got the fucking thing on one of your actors. That is so disrespectful.
Also, how shitty is your fucking set design that you think to yourself, you know what? In preparation, after we've already destroyed the universe with the concept of we repealed the Sokovia Accords so that, Daredevil could fly to the LA area without actually having to be registered. So it can then make a pro-secrecy argument for heroes. Imagine then saying, you know how shitty and lazy you are with our set design? We're going to reuse the same system that we use for imprisoning the Abomination to imprison Jennifer. And we're also going to show up with guns out of nowhere and take her into custody, because even though she was being mocked, antagonized, and made a victim of revenge porn, we're going to act like she has been a threat the entire time with absolutely no explanation. I know there's going to be an explanation, but I don't like your explanation. Yeah, too bad you didn't do that earlier when you had the opportunity to treat this like a serious threat.
many opportunities when that creepy motherfucker was clearly following you. Oh, that's right. We didn't get to that part yet. Just never mind. But there have been opportunities where shit just didn't look right and you didn't care about investigating.
She was horny. How could she?
When women are horny, we're stupid.
Priorities. Love life, nya. Actual plot, nya.
I was angry, which is how anyone would respond in that situation.
But I thought that anger and fear were the baselines of being women.
Right? And I thought you could handle it infinitely more than your cousin.
But my cousin never had to deal with people looking at his Hulk penis. It's different. I didn't want my dad to know how I give the sloppy and toppy in bed. And he just saw me just jump on top of the man and ride his jalopy. I was embarrassed. It's different. You wouldn't understand. You've never been a victim of sexual assault. Yeah, okay.
That's what all the witnesses saw.
Other than your titties, you know. Remember when you said you couldn't mass produce them things?
Mm-hmm. Now suddenly they are, and they look completely different than the one that Bruce wore.
How did you reproduce that without Bruce's technology and design? Who came up with
That's all. Just
Oh, there's no explanation? Just
No!
randomly came up with it?
Hell no.
I think we call that a plot hole where I'm from.
Yes, a huge one. But it's all part of the satire. Satire.
Really? You're wearing a fucking cardigan with no fucking buffer camisole? It's your shoulders must be itching! So, let's assume, if we can. Yes, we're going to fire this woman because now she's a bad press target. This actually would then play into the narrative of claiming that you should have wrote that the place was using you, and that now that they no longer have purpose for you, and more importantly, how you embarrassed yourself by reacting like a dumbass, that now they're firing you, and this is just another way that the patriarchy makes use of women. But what is he supposed to actually do to save you? Your public persona and your private persona are one and the same. People know that you fuck people by using your lawyer connections to try and get in with targets and clients, and then also predate yourself upon men by Hulk fishing them. Even if you hadn't reacted like a white woman, you still would have the embarrassment that, hey, she's a hoe, and she's going for her graduate certification in head. So, at the very least, you would then have a very significant, oh, I have root beer! Hold on. Make a mix, right? Make a mix, right? I put the mango shot, but I let him do the root beer. Anyways, you would still have the stigma of being looked at like a common floozy. And as a common floozy, you now have to deal with the comeback that does affecting the business. And considering that he's a senior partner, I'm assuming he's a senior partner if he's not the multi-tier partner, founder of the law firm, he has to deal with the fact that your stupidity now makes him look embarrassing because you're the head of the division. And the only thing people are going to speak of, even if they speak of it in hushed tones, is your titties. Guys giving you pearl necklaces, just like your friends. And most importantly, that every single time it comes up that you have the position because you are the symbol that the award you were receiving represented. So the fact that you're having to, well, actually, no, this is even worse. If he didn't fire you, but you're quitting of your own volition, but she's going to keep working here because they're paying her nicely, you don't even have the ability of solidarity from your friend to back you in this moment of pain. So your friend is kind of betraying you and betraying the sisterhood, and you still don't have the narrative through line to say they're evil because they're not giving me everything I want, which would still then be babying you, because that would still be a further hand extension of patriarchy. Because of course these men must want you just because of your body.
Well, you can always wear your you can always pretend you work at a law firm at our dinner table. Why are you wearing it, bitch?
There are so many questions.
Bitch, you better be glad you got somewhere to live. Imagine if your parents were dead. You'd be like shit out of luck.
Even then, it's like, you would have a comfortable nest egg. Are you moving just because you want to escape fucking paparazzi? They'd show up at your parents' house. Public record, bitch. Example. Case example. Good job, dumbass. Yes, totally, because that's how Reddit works. You literally know his name. You literally have his face. You know the shape of his penis. It's not that hard. And also, are you about to try and say that it's owned by shell companies? Like it's an actual evil front?
Also, they don't know who Hulk King is yet. They know who the boyfriend, like who the would-be boyfriend was who took that sex tape. They could go like, I don't know why they're not starting there, trying to find him first, or maybe questioning the motherfucker who tried to steal her blood. But of course they don't look there. They like it, like just like like the stereotypical women. They start reading into shit that doesn't matter and like confusing themselves instead of going right to like the obvious suspects.
Other than the fact that it contradicts the fact that she ran at that particular member of the Black Bloc group as though she knew exactly who it was.
Mm-hmm.
The fear in his eyes, the same it was when he was ejaculating right on her face. She knew it well. She ran at him with purpose. If she was just trying to find a single person in intelligentsia and hold them accountable, that'd be one thing. But that's not what happened. She ran with purpose. And the clip clearly came from a cell phone set up in her bedroom with a particular man. She should recognize what he looks like. So she should immediately assume that the person who took the tape and the person who made the first presentation is one and the same. Because even if it's supposed to be a voice over a modulator, that's not going to change everything entirely unless they're outright changing it to a standard like voice vocoder modifier, or they're changing it to a woman's affectation, or they're having a woman read it. And that's just not what happened. You guys chose this shittiest fucking vocode mod to try and hide these actors' voices, and I couldn't recognize who the fucking voice actor was. So, if I can figure it out, in universe, she should be able to figure it out. Unless you're telling me that she is that bad at her lawyer job that she can't put 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 together. But she can be able to shake that ass for the 99s and 2000s.
Companies that are operating outside of U.S. jurisdiction.
Okay, bitch.
I mean, that's like every single fucking website though, because y'all motherfuckers can't stop trying to cancel and screw people out of a job in a company. You try to use the government as a means to get control of every single fucking corporation, and then you give kickbacks to the founders that made them so you can continue the deep bed of government entanglement. And again, totally not Reddit, totally not anonymous. You are about to tell me that Reddit is not being used for geopolitical, socioeconomic standards? No. Like, why are you even saying this? What the fuck is happening right now?
One of these guys is gonna slip up, and they're gonna give us enough information.
Yeah, they're just so dumb dudes, but like they're being held up by shell corporations and trying to steal your blood. Successfully stole your blood for like.
Stole your blood, got your sex tape.
Yeah, it's
noodle.
It's like a chick being really into you, and then like you like something goes wrong, and then she says you have a little dick. Like, you know it's not true. You're being delusional. Stop it.
Defamation and invasion of privacy, and get them charged with unauthorized access to a protected computer.
Problem is that if it was unauthorized access, you have to prove where they unauthorized accessed your shit. And considering he cloned your information, you left your phone exposed, which means it is your fault.
Mm-hmm.
In order for it to be unauthorized access, they need to do so through a protected connection, like root accessing through remote access on your computer. And also defamation. You defamed yourself by choosing to then throw a tirade instead of being calm and composed and simply walking outside and crying like a woman. And I don't say that to be hateful. You actually should have had some fucking brains like you should have had in the majority of your cases and played the optics. You're a media figure. Oh my God. The superpowered person, She-Hulk, is embarrassed at Reward Gala, receiving an award for being one of the many women voyeurs of the year by having nudes accessed by a troll group on Totally Not Reddit Intelligentsia. She walked outside and wept, saying, I can't believe that I have to stand this on one of the greatest nights of my life. Gotcha, bitch. Smut to the camera. Literal fourth wall break. You think they're buying this shit? But nah, you're not a smart woman. You're a Hulk woman.
Boring. All right.
Also, why doesn't she bunk with Nikki? That's her best fucking friend.
I just saw Tatiana Monsley in a thong, and it was the most unattractive shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. Are y'all niggas trying to make me fully gay? Is that
But also, getting back to my point, is like she's supposed to be her best friend, but I never see her live with her when she's hard up. What's up? What's up with that? She gotta live. She has to live with her parents. Nikki doesn't have a house or an apartment.
But you see, that would mean she's an actual bestie. You gotta remember, these are Hollywood women. They're Mayweather friends. They're only around when the breeze ain't blowing. Because when the leaves start falling and the strange trees start swinging, these bitches is in the wind. I don't know how fat bitches can be in the wind, but they in the wind.
At the district attorney's office, and we dated for a significant amount of time. And let me tell you, she was psycho way before she got the superpower.
I mean, he's not wrong. Other than the intimate partner of many years.
Yeah, but why would he even cop to that, knowing how he is? He wouldn't want to be associated with this bitch.
Like, yeah, that's the first problem, because it's like, wow, I'm going to jump onto the dirt train because this is going to get sensationalist. But realistically, he had have to know that every single statement he makes, he would then have to defend in a defamation suit, because you are now not just committing libel, but actual slander. Like the intelligentsia people. Okay, internet trolls. Good luck trying to sue them. You're going on to news and defaming her.
And you'd think, like, with this show's tone and what they're going for, you'd think he'd say, "Oh, she was a crazy ass feminist. She was always accusing people of rape and shit."
She was always accusing people of officers of rape. She beat the shit out of my friend Dennis, and then she kept being a bitch to me. I just was trying to do my job.
She laughed at me for being taken advantage of by a magic elf. He could have used that, but he didn't. Fucking idiot.
Like, every time I tried to do everything possible, I even made multiple chances on my own career to ensure that she would be given fair play. And all she ever did was treat me like actual garbage.
I know is what I said I wanted, but this doesn't feel right.
Because we've decided to write that it's not right, because I don't get to make the choice to not change anymore. Therefore, it's disabling, and it's just like if people tried to have control of my womb.
My body, my choice.
This isn't even a reluctant.
My Hulk rage, my Hulk choice.
Is this what you guys want?
Why are you, writers, asking us through Tatiana Lanzi's mouth, is this what we want? Didn't you know what we wanted? I mean, clearly women like Fictional Darling are fucking creaming over this.
I'm not running from my problems. It's a mental health break.
No, you're running from your problems. You're running from your problems. Granted, you can't really run from your problems, because running would have been running from your problems, but you're running away from feeling what you should be feeling as a hero. You have no arc. If the lesson of the show was supposed to be, man, I need to learn how to actually listen when don't know enough and take advice when I should be taking it, you would be sitting there feeling what you're feeling, and then you would learn maybe I shouldn't have been so smug. That would have been a lesson, but you can't learn that lesson because that implies that women are wrong, and women are never wrong, especially not to you. Also, very interesting that you're uploading this directly to Intelligentsia for your friend's account. So, you know that they're very intelligent hackers. They would be able to see that the IP is coming from the law offices. They'd probably even be able to know that your account was created within a certain frame and time period, and they would source that down to either being an associate of She-Hulk, if not She-Hulk herself, trying to fish for attention and information. They would question how they didn't already have this and how did you discover it. They would then look up the metadata on that information and find out when it was copied and how many copies of it had been made ago in the source code of the file. And then they would route that to figure out not only who you are, but where your parents' house is.
Yeah!
But remember, they're dumbasses. They really only understand things that you tell them that they know. Okay. So she spent law school dancing instead of studying. Would hit it then. Now she's an angry beast. You can see her thong at 117. Good find, Broseph. Owned! What a joke. That's not how internet users talk.
Mm-hmm. And if they were smart, what you said, they would have traced that IP and probably would have kidnapped her character and then held her for ransom for She-Hulk. Like, yeah, come get your friend and come alone, blah, 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 blah. And that's how they would have trapped her and probably, I don't know, tried to kill her with one of their Hulk minions they created from her blood. Some shit like that.
The thing that even doesn't really even fucking function about that is that they wouldn't even have to threaten her life. They would just have to get proof outside of video recording that she turned into the Hulk and then fuck her life up even more.
Mm-hmm.
Since you made the announcement of her case public for her plea deal, which is, again, stupid, and was the reason why I said it was stupid when you made the case for Emil Blonsky. Damn! It's weird how I'm right! Why would you send him? They would recognize both of you from the law firm.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, I'm going to be on the phone with you.
Plus, they would know whether or not dude has an account. So
Remember to always refer to women as females.
Because totally, that is not a thing that has been fully understood, and that I even made a video breaking down. Clearly, it's a disrespect of people, not that any woman that has not exhibited any of the other 4 traits would be referred to as a neutral female because she hasn't acted like a lady, a woman, a girl, or a child. Yeah, you totally understand how trolls work on the internet. I believe you.
Jen's life is on the line, so I need you to get your...
But it's not, though. Sure, her life is literally fine. She never has to turn into the She-Hulk again.
You go.
The only thing that's in jeopardy is her job, which she lost, so...
Or that she quit because nobody else in the office was, like, there with security guards to have her escorted off the premises.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is very clearly the barn room in the resort. Did you guys not have enough money?
Keep watching.
And Lady Thor, guys, she just sucks, okay? And I'm not just saying that because she's a female. I would have the exact same criticisms if she was a man.
Yeah, that's totally something people sell on the internet. I believe you. I have a whole thing for this, but I'm gonna wait until we get to the.
But it's
point
like
where
the context makes the context makes the conversation not make sense because they're speaking as if she is a fictional character and not a real person in this universe.
And then even in that context, that doesn't make sense because there is a He-Hulk. It's the Hulk.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like ugh. Ugh.
Is She-Hulk better than the Hulk? No. Is she as strong as him? Is she smart as him? No.
I mean, these are all true statements, though. She's not. It's not a trollish thing to say. It's just accurate. You wrote her as a fucking moron and someone who's inept at her job. So you can't just like put that in there and say, oh, look at what these trolls are going to say. Like, it's almost like you made the show shitty on purpose just to invoke these fucking opinions.
That'd be a hell of a take. Also, look, it's NegaCarl.
We got to put a few tokens in there to make sure we're inclusive in our misogyny.
So you think she boned Holloway? That's their boss. Did she?
Yes.
Like you're mad about it.
Yeah, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
They're gonna make you ask for details. And also, these are some very interesting defamatory statements that you're making that you're totally just trusting is not being recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I created intelligentsia. I'm Hulk King.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's pretty dumb. Every single time that this man has been allowed to be nearby her, he has acted like a love-struck fanboy looking for a celebrity hookup.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So to turn around and say he made intelligentsia makes you question, did you make intelligentsia because of the fact that she then saved the jury of her case? Or did you already have intelligentsia made and you just chose to hyper focus on her after she came out of the woodwork and then hyper focused on her even further when she sexually rejected you? Because the sequence of events is very important. If
no, I mean, like she, like, fuck, what was it? He even acted love struck even after, because she rejected him on the first date they went on, and then he continued to follow her around like a lovesick puppy. So,
yeah,
and
feminist writing. Yeah, that's normal feminist writing. Mm-hmm. The problem is that the order of events matters a lot. If he made intelligentsia already, because we're supposed to be behaving as though the beginning of the show is in medias res, not she got into a car accident, she went back to her law job, it was a week later, and then she was revealed. It's more like they gave an air of event like it had been months after her foray, and then in a knockoff trial, Titania makes her have to expose herself. Mm-hmm. Because if intelligentsia already existed, then who would you have been ranting about then? Captain Marvel? Any other female hero? Black Widow? The fact that Black Widow was replaced by her totally not Russian sister, Yelena? Mm-hmm. Any of the characters that have come out since? Fucking Miss Marvel with Kamala Khan? The Scarlet Witch? There are so many angles to take here, and none of them make sense. Because then, if he hyper focuses on Hunter, and it becomes a case of, she's attractive, I hope I can get in with her, I hope she likes my money, and then it's like, nah, bro, she totally wants me, she's just playing her to get. And then you decide to make the incel turn of, see, she thinks she's got it so good because she won't suck my dick. If it already existed, that's pathetic writing. If he just decided to do it because she just existed and it became the most important thing to focus on, then why wouldn't he have multiple other hate forms? Because this is the thing that's not making sense about intelligentsia. Because you keep using the Reddit format, what you're telling me is that this is a group of Redditors on a subreddit. And that if he created the intelligentsia subreddit, because you're not behaving as though it's actually a multi-conglomerate group until this exact episode, if it's supposed to be funded by shell companies, because he's a multimillionaire, I have to assume he's buying Wakandan war spears that aren't being reclaimed by Shuri or any other fucking person as a representative of Wakanda. If he has the money to be able to buy $1 million war spears, then he has the money to set up basic LOCs that operate as shell companies to move the assets and then own a outside server that would operate separately from totally not Reddit. So then, yeah, you could say he has an official intelligentsia account, but then it would be like Destiny.gg. It's just an additional website that allows you to rehost a web page that is exactly similar to what already exists, which basically is just the Donald. That's just the Donald now. But even then, that doesn't make sense either, because you're specifically focused on just her. So now you went from being Reddit to being Kiwi Farms, but that doesn't make sense either, because if it was like that, then if you were hosting this information and the public knew about it, because nobody seems to have mentioned this at all. The name Intelligentsia was not mentioned once on any of these chyrons, not any of the newsletters, not any of the ticker tape bumpers, nothing. It was never mentioned. They're not getting exposed in that way. So you missed that connection. You're going a very far way to try and make out a evil secret organization out of what would basically be a gaggle of internet basement dwellers. And you're saying they're hyper intelligent enough to set up all this shit, but they're so fucking stupid that they would reveal themselves out in public in a room and not have super secret meetings where they would vet you first.
Thanks. But I don't think anybody can really understand what I'm going through right now.
Totally. Nobody understands what it feels like to be embarrassed in public. Nobody understands, other than women, what it feels like to have revenge porn, and nobody else understands what it feels like to want to do something that would feel really good, but would ultimately be a really bad consequence. Yeah, that's totally something only women would understand.
Keep in mind, she said nobody can understand, so she's not even including women in that, just her.
Nobody knows the dicks I sucked. Nobody knows I swallow. So, like, you guys told him that he could not transform into the Abomination again. So how did he transform into the Abomination and there isn't a tracker? Because we know he has a tracker. How isn't the tracker that was supposed to be functioning on him functioning? Oh, they hacked it. That's how they did it. They hacked. Interesting. Bullshit. Because that was government technology. Are you saying that this character has a hand in the Department of Damage Control? Because that's interesting. Wouldn't it be very telling if instead of this, it was a story about how actually this group of undercover trolls is actually a front for an evil organization trying to get control of and get registry of every single super that would have been registered to the Sokovia Accords after it has been declassified and repealed, so they can hunt them for their powers and try to make duplicate heroes?
Yeah, I said the exact same thing almost in my video. It's like, why wouldn't these motherfuckers steal her blood and make a bunch, like an army of Hulk misogynists and just lay waste to the world?
You know, put in a little bit of some Aryan overtones, some the way it does to be lying kind of thing. Backstory of how he was just a nobody until he became somebody. You know, really punch this shit the fuck up. But it doesn't make sense, because then you're saying that Emil Blonsky would side with this, which then makes it sound like he's supposed to be an unrepentant character who actually is angry at the Hulk for all these years and then was bested and released from prison by his cousin. And how humiliating is that? The man beats my ass and puts me away, and only on the good graces of his fucking cousin, with his blessing, I'm allowed to leave? It makes me so mad! There are so many things you could have done here for an actual drama, but none of those things were involved because, well... Tim Roth wants a paycheck. Now, the irony thing here is, I'm just hearing, I can hear the bullshit. I can hear the dumb arguments coming from me, whispering in the wind. But Carl, he doesn't know that they're a bunch of misogynists, Carl.
Yeah.
Just right in the Breaking Bad memes.
How does he not know that?
It's just right in the Breaking Bad memes. Carl! He doesn't know Carl! He's not actually on their side, Carl! So why wouldn't he ask them the question? Why would they just show up here and he not be in the room mingling with all of these people, asking about their goals and be like, hey, wait, whoa, wait a minute. You hate the Hulk. Why? What did the Hulk do? She-Hulk? What did She-Hulk do? What the fuck is going on?
You know she was my lawyer, right? And we're kind of on good terms. We're cool with each other. Why the fuck did you hire me?
Oh my fucking god. Give me a second. I'm gonna go check my chicken. These bitches don't deserve my fucking patience.
I think he said he's gonna go choke his chicken. Editor, Carl's editor, make sure you put that in.
Delicious, making a bacon smelling of Cajun lemon pepper. So y'all niggas are retarded.
Permission.
Don't ask permission. That doesn't sound ominous at all, does it?
Here we go. Oh, we're gonna make him say Andrew Tate-like things, right? Things that in one context sounds good, but really sound ominous. Don't ask permission.
Don't ask that bitch permission when you penetrate. Forcible penetration.
Be powerful.
And the weird thing is that all of these phrases, this is basically the entire point behind Cobra Kai. That's weird. It's just season 5. Is that what happened here? So again, this would be the reason why having a stipulation of his transformation, Nixay, being stupid. Because if he's supposed to be a lawful citizen, it would only be a problem if he's getting into arguments and also getting into fights and causing havoc. If he's going in and he's using it for speaking arrangements, that'd be actually, no, it is no different to Tony making appearances in public and making speaking engagements part of his business, since he, being one of the people who would have been on the side of the Registration Act, basically using his public superhero persona for profit, which I guess you could say that's dubious. That'd be just as fucked up as Stephen Strange continuing to be a doctor after he magically gets his ability to use his hands back as a sorcerer. But see, the problem here is that since you gave them the same stipulation in contract, it's supposed to be like, I trusted you. You've been transforming. I can't believe you did that. It's like, bitch, if you, no, you've been using your fucking powers, not just for personal gain and profit, but for pleasure. He's literally funding his lifestyle in the most non-violent possible. Hypocrite! But it's okay when you do it. Of course.
What are you doing here?
And why are you still wearing those fucking god ugly pearls?
Worst part. Well, I hired him to seduce you and steal your blood.
Oh man, it's so great that you chose to say that, and that none of us were recording that, and that I didn't have at least 1, 2, 3 witnesses that are willing to testify in court about it. Also, that is not only illegal, but would also be, like I said earlier, a form of bioterrorism, since you intend on using her blood for scientific experiments. At first, she couldn't be able to prove it, but now when they look into the legal records, they can not only shut down your site and also get your totally subreddit community banned, but now you are on at least 1, 2, 3, 4. How many sub-companies were there on that clipboard? Multiply the number by n+1, since he also owns the site himself as a public figure. That's how many federal crimes you're now in violation of. That's Schedule 3, bitch! Life without parole! 90 years! Let's go! Let's go! Oh, wait, they don't know that, because they don't actually know how law works.
Whoops.
Damn.
Powers you never should have been given in the first place.
So when you say she shouldn't have had these powers, she didn't deserve them, but I stole them from her because I deserve them. And I wouldn't have them if you didn't get accidentally infected by saving your cousin in a car crash. Even in feminist brain logic, it doesn't work, because that basically means he's admitting that he doesn't deserve them either. He's taking them, because realistically, nobody deserves them. That's why he considered them to be a curse. But you weren't listening to your cousin because you wanted to get back to feminist lawyer land, so you could drink yourself into depression in your mid-30s because you spent your life working on a career and not even necessarily for your own happiness. I'm not going to say you have to have a family, but I think having friends is more satisfying than drinking in a lawyer public dive bar. Also, honey, baby, emote. Emote. Is that really the eyebrow expression you want to go with here in shock and confusion? Like a man just had a wet, turbid shit in your nose?
See, I didn't just get handed superpowers. I had to earn them.
You earned them by stealing them, totally. About way that would make sense if you actually had to do the amount of time, skill, synthesis, and then trial and error to recreate powers. Maybe you started off with the super soldier serum, but that didn't work because even though you have blood samples on record that you could get from places where you know there have been battles that involved Captain America or the Winter Soldier, that it could work out in a roundabout sense. But that, that goes up because you don't have any live samples, so you need living blood, whatever. So then you move on to, maybe I can try to buy something like vibranium. Maybe I can be able to make an Iron Man-like suit out of the Wakandan material, but you're not really Tony Stark and you don't have infinite resources. So instead you go into the biomechanical side of engineering. Maybe I can try to synthesize something from somebody who is a known biohuman. Who can I get that's a metahuman? The Abomination? Maybe close to him. But you know who I should really use it on? Somebody who doesn't have the wherewithal and probably doesn't have combat experience. Maybe I should on the new out Hulk. Yes, cousin of Bruce Banner. Maybe there's something there. Yeah, this would be smart. But then that would require time and planning and effort because that's not just something you start up on like a whim. You'd have to have been doing this for at least 10 years. And that's not even counting for the blip. Were you doing this during the blip? Did you even alive during the blip? Did you know what the Avengers were outside of like an event happening away from you? You just happened to chance into her moving here? Did you know that she practiced law here and you moved out here to come have talks and interactions with her? Did you figure out that she had a profile on there and in your internet hacking scheme? Oh, she has a Tinder profile. I'm sorry. Totally not Tinder profile, guys. I need my hottest, sexiest Asian. And does anybody have an Asian make a white Asian male, white woman pairing? This shit will do numbers. I'm putting too much thought into this. And I know these bitches did not think that deep. And it depresses me that an internet shit poster can have a better writing mind than a room full of feminists. And I only have one alcohol bottle left.
I'm not surprised that a shit poster has more intelligence than a feminist. It's not surprising.
This is not enough alcohol. I'll never be drunk enough.
This can't possibly be where this season was going.
So your wrists should be breaking that watch. Why is that still on there?
Mm-hmm.
Also, this could possibly been where we were going. No, it wasn't totally. It wasn't. Not in all the times that it was being spoofed and shown to us. Spoofed. I'm air quoting that. Spoofed. Directly sourced with no hint of irony, no eye wink. Spoofed. Yes, you, all of you, my human minions, attack the Hulk figure.
It would have been, like I said, it would have been awesome if they just all had a vial and they just injected at once and then attacked them.
No, a vial, a pill, a suppository.
Anything. Just anything fucking that makes sense or is interesting.
These storylines make any sense.
You wrote them!
Is this working for you? Hey.
Haha, see, it's a joke. We're doing a jokey. It's a jokey joke thing. Joke, guys. Aren't you laughing? Meta humor. Satire. Why don't you have Miss Marvel up here? About a branding. This is not funny. This is not funny. Also, why exactly would Titania show up at this barn? What would actually be the motivation in this storyline that you wrote yourself to try and make satire out of? Why would she be there?
It's lol, so random.
I guess. So, you breaking the inhibitor now gives you the ability to break the fourth wall out of context. Because everything that's about to happen here is actually a waste of time. I don't even want to bother counting the minutes. Why did you write this? Walking into what would now be reality onto the street, nobody's reacting to you. People are looking at you now, but no one's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck? Is that She-Hulk?" No one's sounding out like any of the characters in the universe. No, not at all. Just whisperingly quiet to themselves like white liberals in California. Oh, I didn't know that they had statuettes of the dwarves holding up the building on the Walt Disney lot. That's interesting. Because this is a Walt Disney lot. That's Walt Disney statue. That's Mickey Mouse. Another barcode, by the way.
Oh, God.
In the same episode. And everybody's like, "Hi, hey, hi." No one's saying like, "Is that a fucking living character in real life?" Yeah.
That guy steals my blood in order to get superpowers. Where did you come up with that original idea? Was that from every other superhero story ever?
Okay.
Yes, because that's how stories are supposed to work. If there is supposed to be a way to challenge you, it needs to be either the hero and the villain have the same power sets, but they have different philosophies and thus different techniques about how to use them. They have opposing sets where one is strong and the other is weak, but is mentally out fortuitous against the hero, and so he outsmarts them, and they need to stop trying to think with their fists and start thinking with their brain and utilizing the fists as a tool. Or it becomes the difference of two sides trying to compete against that power source until one of them claims it. And if it's the hero that claims it first, showing that they are the best ones to use it. And if it's the villain that claims it, they show how they're misusing it until they pull a mask and come around to using it correctly. And then ensure that nobody uses it. So basically, all of the male origin stories, Captain Marvel's origin story, and literally Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where we find that he just denies being a Celestial because when he kills Ego, he loses those abilities. So you're complaining about everything that's been done in Marvel. Okay, I see where we're going with this. Continue.
There are things that are supposed to happen in a superhero story.
Exactly. Why don't we just do things our own way?
Because you're part of Marvel, and this formula that you've created it exists for a reason. And
also, they're acting like they have been doing things the normal way this whole show when they fucking haven't.
And of course, there's the other part, and I don't think any of the critics that like to complain are going to actually answer this. The majority of your audience isn't women. It's men. And it's Reddit men. I don't know how they're going to deal with that, Doozy. I think they're going to deal with it the same way that Jerry Conway dealt with it when he fucking was exposed for being dumb as shit. Lawyer doesn't read contracts. Got She-Hulk. So his chest should be caved in. Her arm should be dislocated. His arm is broken and his wrist is snapped at the bone. Ruptured spleen. Concussion.
Dead.
Oh, isn't that cute? You gave him a little top hat that looks exactly like the ball caps Kevin always wears. See, this isn't that shocking because I actually read the interview. Apparently, Kevin Feige was on their side the entire time. He encouraged this. He even helped design this character.
Bullshit.
That is not the fucking take that you guys think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Were you expecting a man?
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, why would I expect a giant AI brain and not a man?
Because you should expect that the thing that is driving the stories to be the same should be an algorithm, which could be produced by a man or a woman.
Yeah.
So
also,
it had to be a man.
Also, they ripped off this joke from Space Jam Legacy.
Well, see, that's bad because y'all niggas are fucking ripping off jokes from a product that was fucking shielded and panned. I know what we'll do to make millions of dollars and increase our brand recognition. We'll steal from the film that stole from us, that stole from everything else.
Wait, so you're the one who's making...
What would really been funny is if they had gotten this to basically be a hologram that is voiced by Don Cheadle, but it's not Don Cheadle. It's just, we decided that the best way for us to be able to sell product was to have the AI be controlled by a central nexus that represented the majority of the market share value. And who's best to do that than a affably dick black man? You know what I'm saying? You know, like just Don Cheadle, but basically he's doing his character from House of Ice.
I will answer your questions, but you must first transform back to Jennifer.
Why?
Are very expensive.
Ha 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 ha. So if she was expensive, why did you choose to write the scenes that involved her She-Hulk form the way that you wrote them?
Also, how's she so expensive and you're not paying your fucking VFX team?
Oh, sure.
But wait until the camera is off you. The visual effects team has moved on to another project.
Ha ha ha! You could get it? Because they're currently working on Wakanda Forever. It's so quirky, guys.
Result of following some unwritten rule that you have to throw a bunch of plot and flash and a whole blood thing.
Did she just fucking complain about things having plots?
Yes.
This fucking cunt.
Distracts from the story, which is that my life fell apart right when I was
Distract from the story, bitch. You just complained about having a plot.
And more importantly, the plot is what would lead to you having life fall apart because you weren't fucking trying to learn to be Jen and She-Hulk. You were more important in being She-Hulk while using Jen to make lawyer money so you could go on extravagant dates with niggas at expensive locations, get your coochie ate. Fuck you mean?
Return to explain what he was doing.
No, we don't need to hear any of that.
So, if we don't need to hear what he was doing in space, then why did you have the Sicarian space vessel show up to then involve him going to space to find out what was happening, which was the way to get his character to not be involved in your plot line so that he doesn't have a reason, the character, and most importantly, the actor, to be in the show. Again, you wrote this.
But we were going to introduce...
Save it for the movie.
So again, you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. So you're wasting people's time on a you're literally wasting people's time in this show. And now you're saying, no, we're not going to explain what he was doing here. We're just going to then have him show up from space in another film and never actually explain why the fuck he was in space in the first place, which then requires people to watch your show for context. But guys, don't watch the whole thing. It's not actually important.
For all that, I just want him to hold himself accountable.
Okay.
How would he hold himself accountable, and what would that have to do with him depowering? Hold himself accountable for what? For using his powers the same way you use yours? What?
Let's do this big climax in daylight.
Why would it need to happen at daylight? What would be the purpose? What would be the purpose of having it in the daylight?
It's got a lot of light and it's daylight.
Oh boy, I wouldn't mind seeing Charlie Cox again. You know what I'm saying, girls? A woman has needs, you know what I'm saying? Off, by ooh. Oh my god. You guys are embarrassing women.
Yeah, it's not a good look at all. Like I said this in my stream, or my video, it's one of the most misogynistic shows I've ever seen.
I'm surprised there aren't more men in this product. Guys, shit, we're see, why did you make this face? Also, that's mine now. Why did you make this face? This was such a stupid face to fucking make. Oh my god. Why are there so many characters with daddy issues? Captain America didn't have daddy issues. Tony Stark really didn't necessarily have daddy issues as much as he had issues with his parents in general because he didn't get to see them again. And that was then explained as, yeah, he had issues dealing with his parents because his dad was a complex man. We don't seem to have issues with the daddy issues of Black Widow, which pretty much was based on a lie, and I don't think you're going to hold Helena to that either. Bruce Banner has daddy issues, but that has less to do with his particular father and the fact that he can't see his family again, which then means why does he have family issues, which means why is he choosing to waste his time on his cousin, which that should be very obvious as to why. Spider-Man has not only daddy issues in terms of his family, but now he has aunt issues. His uncle's Ben's dead and his aunt's dead, but you're not roasting him. Thor's daddy issues weren't about him having issues with his daddy. It was about him being unworthy and then learning how to hold himself accountable and be in his father's eyes.
Yeah, he really has brother issues, not daddy issues.
Like, between himself and Loki, both of them have the same issue. He wants Loki to be different, but then his entire thing was actually resolved. Did you not watch the films that you're criticizing? He came to terms with saying, yeah, Loki, you're just going to be Loki. I want you to come around, but you're always going to be you, and I accept that. And that all had to do with inside of Ragnarok, and Loki exists, so you know that plot was also resolved, because that arc came to an end in Civil War and effectively was cemented by the first episode of Loki, and then eventually by the end of the series. So you're lying! You're just lying!
Mm-hmm.
I have some thoughts about the direction of season 2.
What the fuck makes you think you should access a season 2? What? Also, even if you did get a season 2, your actors literally don't care. Like, you literally said for yourselves, you don't care. I got to be in a Marvel product. So, no. Don't do this again.
Formulated.
Well, yeah, that's what Hulks do.
Yeah, that's what we do as Hulks. We smash things, and then we tell the omnipresent word of God in our product, hey, can you bring back that big piece of dick that I fucked, the blind one? I need to come again. He hit me in ways that I didn't even think that I could quiver, and I just need to have that in my life again, my fictional life again.
And I love how they purposely make the conclusion really shitty just so they can do this whack ass ending.
Ah, boy. I got something for this, but I want to see how long this fucking shit goes on for.
Yeah, I mean, as if anyone fucking wanted what was already presented. Nobody wanted this show to begin with.
Smash fourth walls and bad endings. And sometimes Matt Murdock.
This is mine now too.
Are you happy now, She-Hulk? You got Carl laughing like LL Cool J who's had a stroke.
I mean, I'm laughing. I wish I had a stroke. Also, a room full of Marvel comics. This is the same wall of comics that exist inside that office.
Oh, Jesus.
Second episode.
You can buy this this comic book display case for $399.
Exclusive deal, folks. Scan that QR code that's on her suit, and you can be able to get 50% off. So, why did he jump straight out of the sky?
You know why.
I mean, I understand the reason why, but straight out of the sky? out of the sky. Where did you come from?
That's how dick is delivered in a white woman's world. Special delivery. I come with a free pink berry.
Who ordered the tall, dark, and handsome with the express order of some mashed potato bowl in her drawers? And if you do it in the next 15 minutes or less, you get a free piece of chicken for free on Tuesday.
It's the comic price I pay for my actions.
Well, maybe you can write some.
Comic price I pay for my actions of trying to make a living. You're totally allowed to do it, though. Because you're also in violation of your parole, and you should both go back to prison.
She's a white woman. She's not going anywhere.
We only afford this privilege to the women with big tits. She is too small to ride that ride.
I'm so tired.
Stop doing that with your mouth! Is that how she smiles in real life?
I have
She smiles
no idea.
like a fucking... She smiles like a fucking white girl on fucking spring break after she's gotten 5 mimosas and shots in her?
Now the weekend's come.
Yes, because they're just gonna expect for this random guy to show up out of nowhere with blind man glasses and just be like, yeah, hey, hi, so I heard you're fucking my daughter.
I did not think the conversation was going that way.
Matt, I'm going to tell you right now, every conversation...
Well, you're already meeting her fucking parents after poking her once, so,
And her father is so in love with you as a man, he's like, listen, I know how useless my fucking daughter is, okay? You need to take this bitch the fuck out of here. I don't want her in my house. Bitch, I love you, but your ass is gonna need to fucking leave here because I don't want to raise your rambunctious She-Hulk children.
To my life.
But you hate your family. You made it very clear that you hate your family.
Mm-hmm.
This is my son, Scar.
So, first off, Sakaar would not have the ability for you to have a son this large in that time period, unless that's really just this young boy that has been sized up to like the age of a 16-year-old. Who did you impregnate?
Exactly. What the fuck?
On the planet?
What bitch did you fuck?
Did he come out hulked? Is he just yoked up so that he can meet all of you like this? Why would this be a detail that would not have been discussed during that time period? How long was the blip? The blip, like what? A period of fucking 5 years difference?
Mm-hmm.
So, 5 years, that took place around the consistent time of 2018. Ragnarok took place on... I actually have to look that up. Ragnarok took place in... 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 5 year split time difference. So we have to assume for a difference there, and then we're not being told when this actually is, so we have to assume we're in future time now. At the most, in realistic time, the person should be 10 years old. And that's assuming that he wasn't blipped inside the fucking woman's belly. Also, do you think that's a factor that they ever considered? The fact that unborn humans could just be blipped in and out of somebody's womb?
Of course,
And
so
so,
they cannot. Like, there's just so much shit they can't acknowledge that, like, politically, because then they'd piss off a lot of people who watch their films.
So, like, at the very least, this motherfucker would be 10 years old. So, like, let's go ahead and get the 13-year-old, but looks like a fucking 39-year-old man jokes out of the way. But realistically, why would you then involve this detail in this programming?
The message we're sending is that if you attack, harm, or harass innocent people, I'm coming for you.
So does that include all the people that you have brutalized that were innocent?
And all the property damage you caused?
Nah, she's a white woman.
Who are you wearing to court today?
Okay.
But you live in LA. That's a normal question for them to ask.
Yeah,
you would
and
just
plus-
literally. Also, you have a Taylor.
Yeah,
You
I was
can
about to
literally
say.
just-
I was just about to say you dedicated an entire episode of you like getting clothes made, a whole wardrobe made by a fucking boofta. So I don't know what the fuck you acted all sedity for.
And the worst part is that the fact that you don't have that as an off-color fucking like throwaway that you don't even think about, and it's like, damn, I didn't realize I'd become comfortable with this. It's like, wow, what would be the best way for us to have an arc? Well, we could just bitch about having an arc. I know it would be that she learns to walk the walk and talk the talk, as would be the job of a superhero, but also basically as an internet celebrity. So damn, who are you wearing? Who are you wearing? Oh, I'm wearing a person you wouldn't know their name, ... or literally shouting out the name of this person, since you would now, as an out superhero, would have the ability to protect him, and he would now be one of your retained legal counsel. Also, who do you work for?
Oh right, damn, she got fired. They kind of yada. They yada that shit.
You just have a private practice now? Are you the LA firm representing Daredevil's firm now? Is that what's going on? Huh? Oh boy, I don't think we want to talk about how actually you're being given a third chance at your life because you just happen to like some fucking Matt Murdock dick. Oh boy, let's not talk about that. That patriarchy.
I really think that Marvel be watching my videos because let's talk about how She-Hulk has said exactly what I've been saying about the MCU's Phase 4. Again, spoilers if you haven't seen the finale of She-Hulk, so drop a like and come back later. So in this scene where Jennifer talks to Kevin, the decision maker at Marvel Studios, she goes into this monologue about what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is known for and how that ends up putting it into a trap that allows it not to do anything different, like what's happening with the She-Hulk show.
It's often said that Marvel movies all end the same.
Wait, who's saying that? The fact that she says that they don't have to throw in a bunch of plot and flash and a bunch of weird stuff in the finale just to get people's attention is funny because that's exactly what Phase 4 has been doing. WandaVision, a drama about a woman grieving and having a mental break. One big giant boom boom Dragon Ball finale. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a social commentary on what the SHIELD means to people of underrepresented communities. Big giant boom boom finale. The problem with the MCU and what the MCU is admitting is that it tries too hard to...
So you named 2 shows. Where's Loki? Where's Hawkeye? Where's Miss Marvel? Where's What If? Where is any of the other things that are being carried over to this? Where is those one-shots? Where is anything other than those 2 shows? That's an interesting talking point.
To the MCU fan. And She-Hulk never set out to be one of those MCU shows, and the fans, and I got receipts, have always wanted it to be that, and they criticized it for that. Fans.
When you say fans, do you mean fans or critics? Because he does not differentiate and then goes on to say this.
On spectacle when the MCU should be prioritizing stakes, no matter how big or small. And Jennifer Walters' stakes are admittedly pretty small. In this scene, the MCU called out itself, its fans, and proved that it actually does listen to what we're saying.
And no, they do not listen to what we're saying. They hear what people are saying. They hear what people are saying. They see what people are saying, especially in the comments section. Thanks for that, fictional darling. And they get mad about it, so they, the writers, seeing and hearing these criticisms, took those criticisms, made straw men out of bad male characters to criticize and attack, and then used them as a stand-in for the legitimate, well-structured arguments, and like Xander Hall fawning and literally coming over Rings of Power, instead of understanding there's a nerd reason, using Mahler's words exactly, a nerd reason for why they have criticism of the show, said, no, the chuds are mad, the chuds are dumb, the chuds are stupid, and we're mocking you because you deserve it. That's what you did. You didn't want to listen.
To be honest, I think he's being paid by Marvel. Like, you think, like, if the White House is paying motherfuckers to bring up talking points to Zoomers and shit, you know that Marvel will hire someone to basically gaslight people.
This is not the first time this particular user did it, because this is the same user who was in that other clip I showed you, which was them saying that, hey, this show's actually good, and if you don't like it, it's because you're feeling called out. This person's now a verified checkmark, and at least 161,000 people liked this and commented on it, saying,
Really?
yes, I agree with you, brother, yes.
And wait, when did he get that blue check mark again?
I didn't notice when he got it, but he has it now, and this person's profile has 3.2 million followers. Straw Hat Goofy on TikTok. Can I be your movie guy? Let's get to 4 million. Straw Hat at armadapartners.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're a prop, brother.
You are an actual Uncle Tom. You are what people call me, but not as a joke, as an insult.
Mm-hmm.
All of that was put together, that fucking sequence, that finale, all of that was put together because dumbasses like this were going to make those arguments and say, see, they're actually doing what they want and you don't like it because you're the people they're talking about. But I'm not. I don't necessarily like Marvel films out of principle or property.
Mm-hmm.
I watch good shit, and unfortunately, no, Wong, this is not peak television. Peak television is AMC's Exceptional Negro.
Which we're about to watch right after this recording.
So no, y'all niggas are lying. You didn't even, that's the worst part, I think. Because, you see, you expect people to pay money for this. We didn't expend a single dime other than our time and effort. And you better believe I'm going to get paid for my pain and agony. You don't deserve praise or money or chances to a career or even attempts to join the thing that you don't even care enough about. Shout outs to you, Jamila, that you don't even care about, to try and propose a satisfying ending for people who are watching your show. Mm-hmm. You want the Cope Seethe Hour featuring Tatiana Monsley so that you can have what effectively is a fan fiction. A very shitty fan fiction that character gets everything she wants. She gets to order dick on delivery. That would be the greatest name for an app. Dick on delivery. DIK on delivery. Gets to order dick on delivery so she can have a cake, sucking right on it too, and then has a show full of incompetent characters. So that you can say, listen, this is how we actually think of you guys. This is how we look at women. This is what we think of men. This is what we think of social movements. This is what we think of Me Too. This is what we think of men that we don't feel sexually attracted to, but treat like a puppy dog. Because damn, the only likable guy in this show that isn't the one you're fucking is literally the name of a dog that is manufactured to be ugly and cute, so that you can have them as a designer accessory.
Mm-hmm. Tell it, nigga. Preach.
You women make real feminists weep. And I say that not as real feminists as the ones that want. No. Third wave feminists, men-hating women, hate you bitches. Because damn, you just made the worst takedown of them. Are you sure you're not meninists? Are you sure that you're not trolling your audience? Because if I was to bring up every single talking point I've ever seen and heard on the internet, you just hit all the great talking points to make it clear that you guys actually are on our side. The side of the critics of, damn, this is a satire, guys. We're going to satirize what we think of modern day writing, and we're going to put it in the film, and we're going to put it on Marvel's dime, and they're going to pay for it. Kevin Feige's going to sign off on it. It's going to be the greatest shitpost ever put to pen in this current year. You did that. And then you said, nah, bro. We had this plan from the beginning. We were going to shit it up from the start. We didn't just decide to say, fuck it, because no one's giving us proper fucking ratings on the Nielsen, even though we don't publish our digital Nielsen rating. No. Shit's not going our way, so fuck it. Shitpost finale. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, Marvel's dead.
And most importantly, fuck you, the goddamn head writer on this shit. If you have so many problems with the way you lived your life that you need to live through the vicarious ending you made for a fictional character, maybe try going and looking in the mirror. Maybe go to the gym, sit down, invest some of that fucking money you have in video games. Play Final Fantasy 14. Do anything else than be a writer. Oh my god!